never be a point in your time in your life where it's the right time to do a great thing. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect timing, it's not going to happen. You know what you have to do? You have to create the perfect time and the perfect opportunity and the perfect situation.
So that a lot of people become comfortable. They stop growing. They stop wanting anything. They become satisfied. People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like, jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you have. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talk yourself out of it?
If you're waiting on your next door neighbor to make it happen for you, it may not happen. If you're waiting on your mother or your father, they may be so ancient in their thinking that they don't understand this opportunity that you have. And if you're waiting on them, it may never get done. You don't beg average people to be phenomenal. You don't beg good people to be phenomenal. You just are phenomenal, and you will attract phenomenal. I want you to make that dream become a reality, because if you don't, you will be working for somebody else to make their dreams become a reality. There are people right now who are working who don't want to work. There are people who hate their jobs, but they keep getting up to do it.
The wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard. Because in the graveyard we will find inventions that we never ever were exposed to. Ideas, dreams that never became reality. Hopes and aspirations that were never acted upon.
Now, just to go back on the renting thing, so obviously I'm an advocate of property, aren't I? Got around 10 or 11 million of property of these kind of properties. Why would I want to rent rather than live in my own home? So effectively, the equation is when I rent my properties out, I get roughly 4 to 6% rent returns. When I'm renting myself, I pay between 1.5% and 2.5%. So for the same price that I could buy a $1.5 million house, which in Sydney doesn't get you a lot, I can tell you it gets you a unit, I can live in a $6 million house and probably still save some money on tax. So suddenly I've got all of my assets working really, really hard with lots of competition, so that even in the GFC they don't drop a single cent. And then I go and rent these expensive houses that people can't afford, and the rent goes down, they can't sell them, and they get even more desperate, and the price is cheaper and cheaper. So when people look at me and say, you're so poor because you still rent, do you reckon I have sleepless nights? I believe the biggest thing that you can get by having money is the choice that what you want to do, whether you work, whether you play, whether you spend time with your kids, whether you do charity and the rest of it, even if you're not material, and I didn't come from a material background from my parents, is it gives you choice of what you want to do. And I think you only get one life, and I've had lots of friends with cancers and the rest of it in their late 30s, and they don't get a second chance. And so I say, whatever you're going to do, make sure you've only got one life, make the most of it. If you can get your mindset around this stuff here, that's where you make millions of dollars, okay? And so roughly my portfolio, if it rises roughly at 5 or 10% a year, it's $500,000 to $1 million a year. I don't pay tax on it because I'm just refinancing the equity out rather than selling property. That's where the money is. Earning money from running a business, $250,000, $500,000, it's insignificant. The money is in holding assets. That's where real cash is.
That the biggest enemy you have to deal with is yourself. There's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.